Hello and welcome to CKE 10,001's gaming channel. In this video, we'll be looking at my Shirou Saber Weiss deck profile post Heaven's Feel. So it was built after Heaven's Feel cards were released. In this deck build, I'm running 15 level 0s, 10 level 1s, 7 level 2s, 10 level 3s, and 8 Climax cards. The first card I'm going to take a look at is Style of Hearsay Saber. This card has two effects. The first ability is Continuous. Your other character in the middle position of your center stage gets the following ability. Continuous, this card cannot be chosen by your opponent's effects. The second is Pay 1. Put the top card of your deck into your clock restless card. Search your deck for up to one character with Shirou or Saber in its card name. Reveal it to your opponent. Put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. So it's a way to plus and set up your level 1 combo if you need it, because it searches Shirou and Sabers, which is most of the cards in this deck. And then I'm running this at 3 copies. And the next card is the Brainstormer of the deck, Rin's Servant Archer. This card has two abilities. The first is when another of your characters becomes versed in battle, you can choose one of your weapon characters, and that character gets 500 power until the end of turn. The second is Activate Brainstorm, pay 1 restless card, and then for each climax revealed during the brainstorm, you can choose up to one weapon character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. So you can return any of the Saber or Shirou cards because their second trait is weapon. So that's why this Brainstormer is good for the deck. And then I'm running 3 copies of the new Heaven's Feel level 0 Shirou and Trusted Arm of Archer Shirou. Two effects. First is when this card becomes reversed. If your memory has 2 or less cards, you may put this card into your memory. And the second effect is when this card becomes reversed. If this card's battle opponent is level 0 or lower, you can put that character in your opponent's stock. If you do, put that bottom card of your opponent's stock into his or her waiting room for the second effect. So you can use both effects. Next up is 3 copies of Jewel Magic Rin. It has a continuous effect. If the number of your other characters is 1 or less, this card gets 1500 power, so it's just a 004k beater. And I'm running 2 copies of Summoning with a Command Seal Shirou. 2 effects. The first is Continuous Assist. All your characters in front of this card get 500 power. Second is Auto. When a climax is placed in your climax area, you can choose one of your characters, and that character gets 1000 power until the end of turn. And you use that extra power just to get the reverse needed for your level 1 combo if you need that power. And then I'm running 1 copy of Petite Shirou, the promo. It has a continuous effect. If this card is in the middle position of your center stage, this card gets 1 level and 2500 power. So it's a 004k beater, but it's also level 1. So it's kind of level 0 verser proof. That's why I'm just running 1. And I'm running 2 copies of Smile Lit by Sunrise Saber. It's a 1/1 and continuous. If you have 2 or more other Master or Summoner characters, this card gets 1500 power and auto hand on core. So it's 1/175 with hand on core. And I put it in this deck just to fight against those cards that can't be reversed by cost zeros. And then the next card I'm running is 2 copies of Variety of Fighting Styles Archer. It's a 102k backup, as long as you have a Master or Servant when you use the backup effect. And then I'm running 2 copies of Injury Status Shirou. It has 2 effects. The first is Continuous. This card cannot side attack, which is a downside. Second is when this card attacks, if you have 2 or more other characters with Saber or Shirou or Sakura in its card name, this card gets 2000 power until end of turn. So good in this deck because it has Sabers and Shirous. Again, it's from Heaven's Feel. And then the level 1 combo I'm running at 4 copies. Righteous King of Knights Saber. If you have 2 or more other Master or Servant characters, this card gets 1000 power. And when this card's battle opponent becomes reverse, if Strike Air is in your climax area, look up to 4 cards from the top of your deck. Choose up to one master or a servant from one of them, reveal it to your opponent, put your hand, put the rest into your waiting room, then choose one of your characters, and that character gets 2,000 power until the end of turn. So this kind of snowball effect, it can get the next Saber to get more power, to get the reverse, and then to get the initial one, you use the 0 assist, and strike areas on a shot trigger. And then at level 2, I'm running 4 copies of Furious Punches Shirou. Let me try to get a focus in on that a little bit. It has 2 effects. The first is continuous assist. All your characters in front of this card with Shirou or Saber or Rin in its card name get 500 power and 1 soul. The second is auto change. At the beginning of your draw phase, you may pay 1, put this card into waiting room. If you do, choose a card named Unlimited Bladework Shirou in your waiting room and put it on the stage position that this card was on. So it's a good card because it gives you extra soul if you need it for pressure, and it changes it into a pseudo restander, your level 3 right there. So that's why the card is good. Gets extra attacks in. And then I'm running 1 tech copy of Reaching for the Grail Saber. You really only use it for the second effect when this card becomes reversed. If the battle opponent is higher than your opponent's level, you can put that character into your opponent's stock. If you do, put then they put the bottom card of your opponent's stock into his or her waiting room. So that's I'm just using it for the second effect. The first we don't use in the stack build. And then next up, we're running a red card, which is Heroic Rin and Archer. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, if your deck has 5 or less cards, return all cards in your waiting room to your deck. If you do, shuffle your deck and draw a card. So it's essentially like a heal 1 for 1 stock, and you can draw a card. And then we're going to take a closer look up at the level 3 Unlimited Bladework Shirou. I'm running 4 copies of this. When this card is placed on stage from your hand or by the change effect, you can draw up to 1 card, and this card gets 2k power until end of turn. And then it has a climax combo effect. When this card's battle opponent becomes reverse, if a card named Unlimited Bladework is in your climax area, you may pay the cost, which is pay 2 stock, put a card from your hand to your room, and put another character from the stage into the waiting room. If you do, choose a character in your waiting room with the same level as the card that was reversed, and then put it on the stage, and then you get an extra attack. And then at the beginning of the Encore step, if that card is on the stage, put that character into your memory. So kind of your finisher for the deck. And then you have kind of a backup card to help you push for damage. A Knight's Oath Saber. The first effect is this card gets 500 power for each of your other master or servant characters. The second effect is this ability activates once per turn. During the turn that this card is placed on stage from hand, when damage dealt by this card is cancelled, put the top card of your deck into your waiting room and deal X damage to your opponent. X equals to that card's level plus 1. So it's the Musashi effect. And then our other level 3 is Excalibur Saber. This card has 3 effects. The first is if the number of cards in your deck is 5 or less, this card gets -1 level in your hand. And then the second effect is this card gets 500 power for each of your other characters with Shirou or Saber or Rin in its card name. The third effect is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can heal 1 damage. And then the last 8 cards for the deck are the Climax cards. I'm running 4 copies of the Unlimited Bladeworks Shot Climax, which is the level 3 Climax. And then the other 4 Climaxes is the level 1 combo, Strike Air, which is also on a shot trigger. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, check EncoreDecks.com and the link in the description below for an overview of this deck build.